For this particular project, I created this character, right, called A.L. Moore, a public servant, a public speaker of some sort. The challenge to perhaps to say, okay, let me tackle straight on a political figure and see if within the political realm I can make clear that I'm not about politics. So my challenge was to use the dynamics of politics and the dynamics of business to see if I can find life within that, because I believe that one of the struggles that we have now as citizens of organized societies is to find the life within all these political and corporate decisions that we are both participants and victims of. So these characters give me the flexibility to exercise the ambiguity or the complexity, if you want, of what it is a human being making choices or taking choices, and when we place ourselves in certain positions, things can get complex, even though we might be facing situations that are not necessarily complex, but just hard or complicated. So the opportunity to bring these things to the surface, I cannot do it without characters. I cannot do it without presenting different perspectives about the same kind of departure point, I guess. Transitory suppository comes from the understanding that it is difficult. To change is difficult. It's demanding. It is something that requires a very high level of tenacity. We ask ourselves to change, we ask our environment to change, we ask systems to change, but are we prepared to do what we've got to do and to contribute what we have to contribute for that particular change, being ourselves or outside of ourselves? So transitory suppository is one way or another admitting that we have a difficulty dealing again with process and with transition, and we would like things to happen fast, on an instant. And so the game between the suppository being something that goes straight to our digestive system, being something that is absorbed very quickly, and being one of the best ways to tackle a few physiological problems, and connecting that suppository to transition. If we could, we would develop a suppository in this case that would help us transition things, to bypass process. For me, what's important is to understand that language is a tool. So there is that demand that I use language, whatever it is, to have a conversation. Whatever decision I take, if I'm doing my job correctly, I'm being a total slave to the idea, right? I'm being a total slave to the perspective. That's the only thing I can control, is the intention, right? So I must be 100% in tune with that. So my intention is, as I say, to create the conditions for an experience to occur. It's not my responsibility if that experience occurs or not. It is my responsibility to be grounded in that intention and to be grounded in the motivation that I have to share a particular perspective. So the relationship with space, the relationship with materials, the relationship with format is always at the service of the perspective and at the service of the idea.